Thank you everyone for joining this session, this webinar, which is Pronunciation 101. My name is Sheikh Uwais. I welcome all of you to Aurelian Skills Academy's webinar. This is session number 1 of three-part series, and in that three-part series we're going to learn pronunciation. We're going to learn the rules of pronunciation and many other things, what makes pronunciation for different accents so different, right? So we're going to learn a lot of different things. Now I want to talk about the Aurelian Skills Academy because I think it's very important that I make sure that everybody knows what the purpose is. So at Aurelian Skills Academy, our purpose is to help people become better communicators, right? Become better leaders, and to help them boost their professional skills. Okay, so we want to guide students, professionals, fresh professionals, and experienced professionals, along with trainers and coaches, on a journey that is the journey of self-improvement, self-learning, and professional and personal development. Okay, we want to provide them with knowledge and tools that would help them succeed in their careers. And what we want to do is another purpose, a very important purpose at Aurelian Skills Academy, is that we want to create a very supportive community of learners. And the purpose of that community should be that we should inspire each other to help each other along the way, right? So simply put, our purpose is to empower individuals to achieve their goals, okay, and to reach their full potential through effective communication, leadership, and professional development. So that is the purpose of Aurelian Skills Academy. And there are multiple programs that we will be running. And one of the programs is Communication Skills Learning, which is CSL. So in this CSL, we're going to learn the basics of communication, what communication actually is, and various aspects of communication, various facets of good communication, and one of which is pronunciation, good pronunciation. Okay, then there will be articulation, there will be expression, all of that. So they will all come under communication skills learning programs. Okay, so let's begin today with pronunciation 101, and there are going to be a few things we would like to talk about in this session, and it will mainly be about vowels and consonant sounds. I'm sure all of us know what vowels and consonants are, right? But before that, let's talk about pronunciation. What is pronunciation in itself? Now, pronunciation means the way in which a word or a language is spoken, the sounds, the tonalities, and everything that are present in any language when you pronounce its words. It also encompasses or constitutes of sounds, stress patterns, your intonation. So stress patterns is like stressing some syllables, stressing some words more, right? Pressuring on those. And then intonation, raising your tone up and down, and the rhythm that we use when we want to produce speech. Okay, so that is the second part of it. The third part is that why do we think pronunciation is important? It is important because for effective communication, it will ensure, your good pronunciation will ensure that whatever word you're pronouncing, right, is being perceived the way you want it to be perceived. Okay, so it will eliminate misunderstanding. Okay, it will eliminate misinterpretation. So it will ensure that whatever you want to say, the listener is actually listening the same way. Okay, or you're able to send your intended message accurately, correctly, precisely. Okay. Now, after that, what are the parts of pronunciation? Number one, phonemes. What are phonemes? They're individual sounds of a language. So, for example, I'll give you a very simple example that in Kashmiri language, we have a very particular sound. It's the sound of ts, ts, right? So when we have to say you in Kashmiri, it's ts. So that ts sound, you will not find it in English. You will not find it in Hindi. You'll not find it in any Asiatic languages except for Urdu, right? There is a tse, that is an alphabet of Urdu language that produces the sound. So those sounds are called phonemes. Okay, we're trying to reconnect. Okay, this is weird. My gosh, Murphy's Law. Whatever can go wrong will. This is very weird. Okay, I seem to have lost my internet connection, so I'm just trying to get back to it. We're trying to reconnect. Surprisingly, it's not connecting, even though we are connected. Yeah, can you guys hear me? Hello? Can you guys hear me? Yeah, can you guys hear me? Hello? Yeah. I'm trying to rejoin. So just give me a second, all right? Can you guys hear me? Somehow it has muted me. Can you hear me? Hello? All right, excellent. Thank you. There has been some network issues. There is something called Murphy's Law. Whatever can go wrong will go wrong. So that's what has happened apparently today. So just give me a second. My internet is very stable, but I don't know why I lost the connection. So just give me a few more seconds, please, until I'm able to share my screen once more. So there is a problem with the speed, the internet speed. So I'm trying to connect from a different connection. So just give it a few more seconds. I'm so sorry. This is very strange. Please let me know when you can see my screen. Now you can see it, right? Excellent. Thank you very much, Amir, for the confirmation. Okay, so what I was talking about is parts of pronunciation, stress patterns. So when we put a lot of emphasis on a particular word or a particular part of a word, okay, we can divide the word into smaller parts. Those parts are called syllables, okay? And then when we stress on certain syllables or certain parts of the word, that is called stress pattern. That is another part of pronunciation. The third part of pronunciation is intonation. What does it mean? It means the rise and fall of pitch. When we say something a bit louder, right? And when we say something a bit quieter in any language. So that is like rise and fall of the intonation, the modulation, the voice modulation. That is very important. So that is a part of pronunciation as well. The fourth one is rhythm, the timing and pacing of speech. So if you're trying to speak faster, if you're pronouncing certain words faster, certain sounds one after the other very fast, right? That'll be the pace of your speech. Okay, so that's very important in pronunciation as well. And the fifth most important thing would be the mouth movements. So what does it mean? It means the physical movement or involvement of the mouth. Okay, that also include our lips, our tongue, vocal cords, and the palate. Okay, the top part of our mouth. That's the palate. Right, moving on to the next slide. Let's talk about sounds in English. This was actually the purpose that we had today, right? There are two sound categories or categories in English. So you see this categories or categories. This is an accent variation, okay? Now, we'll talk about it later. Now, I want to talk about the vowel sounds, and then there'll be consonant sounds. So, vowel sounds and consonant sounds. So, we normally pronounce those as vowels, right? So we have a V sound and then a W sound. So it's vowels, vowels. And then there is consonants. We call them consonants, but it's consonants. Okay? So let's proceed further and look at them in a bit of a detail. What are vowels? Now, these are very basic sounds that are produced by an unrestricted vocal tract. What do I mean by that? It means that I do not interfere with the flow of air as it goes through my vocal tract. Okay? I let it pass as it is. Now, it does not require any change in the shape of my mouth. Okay? I do not need to kind of de-shape or reshape my mouth in any way, right? Or I do not need to use my lips or tongue or teeth or throat or my palate. So human beings are capable of producing this only sound, which is this sound. That's the only sound that we produce. Rest of the sounds, which are called the consonants, they are produced by the movement of our lips, the tongue, the teeth, the throat, and the palate. Okay, so we're going to talk about that in a bit of more detail when we talk about the examples first. Now, what are vowels? Vowels are the sounds that are produced by an unrestricted airflow from our vocal tract. Now, the sounds are A, E, I, O, and U. Okay, and there is one more hidden vowel. It's called semi-vowel or sometimes vowel sound, which is H, right? So A as in aunt, air, after. Okay, I'm trying to have a neutral or Indian or Asian or British accent here, British pronunciations. Okay, because in American it'll be different. It'll be pronounced as ant, air, after. But in normal or neutral accent, it's pronounced as aunt, air, after. And E as in enter, eel, earth. I as in irk, in, ivy. So you'll notice that all three, all the different words, for example, aunt, air, and after, they have different sounds. Okay. Similarly, enter, the E in enter has a different sound, E in eel has a different sound, and E in earth has a different sound. Okay. The different way, method of pronunciation. Okay. It's called the mannerism, the vowel mannerism. Then there is O, ounce, hour, oat. And for U, there is under, umbrella, utmost. And for H, there is honest, hour, air. Okay? So these are the vowel examples, the sounds. Now, types of vowels. There are two types, in fact, three types of vowels. One is short vowels. What are short vowels? There are 5 in number in English language, and these are the 5 short vowels. Number 1 is a sound, as in cat. Number 2 is e sound, as in bed. Number 3 is I sound, as in sit. And number 4 is o sound, as in hot. And number 5 is a sound, as in cup. Now, you remember that I told you there are differences between American pronunciations and English or British or neutral pronunciations. Hot, o sound is one of them. So when we say hot in English, Americans say hot. So they have a ah sound to it. Okay? So it's hot, a hot cup of coffee. That's how they pronounce it. Otherwise, it's normally pronounced as in a neutral or a British accent as hot. Okay? A very short sound. Then there is the long vowels. They are also 5 in number, and they are E sound, as in tree, A sound, as in day, I sound, as in sky, O sound, as in go, U sound, as in you. Okay, these are 5 long vowels. Then we need to remember something. The third type of vowel sounds are diphthongs. What are diphthongs? They don't characterize themselves as a different category of sounds, but they are a combination of 2 vowel sounds. Okay, and it plays a very, very important role in English pronunciation. Okay, for example, the vowel sound oi in boy. So we start with a consonant sound and then we end it with a diphthong. O, I, oi, boy. Okay, so that's one thing to remember. The other thing to remember is that English vowel pronunciation can vary depending on various accents and dialects. Now, there's a very important question and interesting thing to remember, that how are accents and dialects different? Okay, please remember this, that accents are merely differences of sound. The way you pronounce certain sounds right? That would constitute accents, the way you pronounce different words. And dialects, however, right, they contain different phrases, okay, different words altogether, not just the pronunciations. Okay, so for example, we have the Australian dialect and we have the American dialect, then we have the English or British dialect. Okay, how are they different from each other? So let's say Australians, they called women Sheila. Okay, that's not Sheila over there, right? So that is a different word entirely. And for Scottish people, they call a girl as lassie or lass. So that is an entirely different word for it, right? And for English or the British one, it simply is girl. For American, it's a girl or a woman, right? But then there are certain words that are similarly separate in different regions, in different continents, in different countries. So the phrases, when there are different phrases, when there are different words altogether, that is how dialects are differentiated. When it's just the mere sound that is different, that's how we identify accents. Okay, so we need to remember these two things. Now, let's talk about consonants. What are consonants? They are the sounds that we produce when we constrict or close the airflow at different points in the vocal tract. Okay, so for example, when the sound requires us to change the shape of our mouth or to use our lips, our tongue, our teeth, or the palate. Okay, when we use all of that, that's when we say we produce a consonant sound. Okay, so when I said that human beings are only able to produce a sound, it's like an sound. When we change it, when we modify the sound with the help of our lips, okay, so we say but. If we don't say but, the p sound, they'll be like a sound. Okay, but we use our lips to constrict or stop the airflow, right? And then we release it all of a sudden, thus pronouncing the P sound. Okay? Then the examples, every single alphabet except for the vowels, right? And that little asterisk one that is there, which is H. As I said earlier, it is sometimes a vowel, it is sometimes a consonant, right? So for example, heat. So when you say heat, it doesn't produce the sound, it produces the h sound. Okay? So that's why it's sometimes called a consonant and sometimes a vowel. Now, there are two types of consonants as well. Consonant sounds, for that matter. Okay? Number one is voice consonants. What are these sounds? Please remember, there are two things. Number one is airflow. Number two is vocal cord vibration. Okay, so when there is an airflow, simply an airflow, okay, that would be an unvoiced consonant. We're going to talk about it later. But voice consonant, when the air passes through our vocal cords, vocal tract, and then our vocal cords vibrate as well at the same time. They produce a buzzing sound. What you can do is you can put your hand, let's say you can put your left hand on your throat, okay, and then try to say something, let's say your name, or let's say bird, dog, something like that. And you will see that you would actually feel that there is a bit of a vibration going on your vocal cords, right? So this contains two things. Number one is airflow. Number two is humming or buzzing or the vocal cord vibration. So whenever you have these two things while producing a sound, that consonant sound would be called a voiced consonant sound. Now, the examples for this would be B as in bat. So this b sound, the B sound, this would be a voiced consonant. And d, like a d sound, as in dog, that would be a voiced consonant as well. G, as in goat, g sound, that is a voiced consonant as well. Similarly, van, as in V as in van, right? The V sound would be a voiced consonant sound as well. And similarly, z sound, as in zebra, that would be a voiced consonant as well. Okay? Now, there is this d sound, okay? A soft D sound like the. So this, right? That is a voiced consonant as well. And then there is this J, simple, like j sound. It's like a French sound there, j, as in me, je, measure, j, j. Okay? Now, these are voice consonants. And after that, we want to talk about the voiceless consonants. What are these? Now, if you remember, I told you that there are two things, vocal cord vibration and airflow. These make our consonant sounds voiced. Okay? So, but the sounds that are produced without the vibration of the vocal cord are called voiceless consonants. So what happens is our vocal cords remain apart and they allow the air to pass through them without vibrating. Okay? So there is this lack of vibration that gives these consonant sounds a very peculiar sound quality. Okay? Now let me talk about this. Things will be more clear now. When we say p, 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 as in pen, right? It's a p, p, p sound, right? If you have to make it a voiced sound, you need to vibrate your vocal cords. But then p sound will become a b sound. It will convert into a b sound rather than a p sound. Okay? So pen, 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 p, p, p. Instead of p, it'll become b, b, b. And if you see that, you say pen and ben. When you say ben, your vocal cords will vibrate. You can touch your throat and you can feel that vibration going on. So P is a voiceless consonant, but when you convert it into a voice consonant, the sound becomes B. Similarly, T, it's a T sound. It's not a T sound. What we do is we starkly and very strongly pronounce it as T. It's not T, it's T. Okay? So we say top. And if we convert this into a voice consonant sound, it is going to become a D sound, like D, 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 dop, instead of top. When you say T, your vocal cords do not vibrate, but when you say D, your vocal cords vibrate. Okay? So that's the difference. Similarly, cat. K, k, k. It's not a k sound, it's a k sound. It's a cat. Okay? And if you make this voiceless consonant, if you convert it into a voice consonant, it'll become a G sound. It'll become a gat. Okay? Cat, no vibration of the vocal cords. Gat, definite vibration of the vocal cords. Similarly, fish. F, f, f. Fish. When you say fish, it is a voiceless consonant sound. It's not a voice consonant sound. So let me see. If we pronounce it as v, 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 it will become a voice consonant and it will have a different sound of a V, like v, 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 f, 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 v, v, v. So you can see vish and fish. So when you say fish, your vocal cords will not vibrate. When you say vish, your vocal cords will vibrate. So that's the difference. Then there is this sound. If you say snake, you can touch your throat here and you will see there is no vibration of the vocal cords. But if you make it a voiced consonant, then it'll be j. Sh will become j, j sound, as we talked about in measure, treasure, right? So sh will convert into j sound, as from voiceless to voiced. So these are the voiceless consonants, and then there is the last one, which is the sh. Like, for example, we say shh, shut up, or hush, right? So sh sound, and it will also become a sh, j sound. Okay? So sorry, I forgot to mention, I actually misspoke that. When we say snake, it will become a Z. When we have to vibrate the vocal cords, the S will become a Z. So s, z. So you can see that when you say s sound, the S sound, you can touch your vocal cords, they're not vibrating at all, right? But when you say z, zebra, you can touch your vocal cords and you will see there is a definite vibration. Okay, so S becomes a Z sound or Z sound. Similarly, there is the sound sh. So if you make it a voice consonant sound, it will become a j sound. You have to vibrate your vocal cords, right? And then the sh sound will become the j sound, like in measure. Shu, measure, j sound. Okay, so this is the difference between voice consonants and voiceless or unvoiced consonants. We need to remember that. This is very important. Now, let's do a little bit of a revision. What we learned so far. Number one, vowels. What are vowels? They are the sounds that we produce when there is an unrestricted airflow through our vocal tract. Okay, when we don't stop the air coming out of our mouth by any way, by modifying the shape, the structure, or using our lips, mouth, teeth, tongue, and palate. Second thing is consonants. What are consonant sounds? They are the sounds that are produced when we restrict the airflow and we use our lips, tongue, teeth, throat, and palate to change the sounds, to change the way air comes out of our mouth. Third one is there are 5 long vowels and 5 short vowels. Then there are diphthongs, which are a combination of 2 vowel sounds. Then voice consonants, there is a buzzing sound and vocal cords vibrate. Voiceless consonants, there is no vocal cord vibration. There is just the airflow through the vocal tract. Okay? Now, what I wanted to tell you is very important, that as I mentioned earlier in the beginning, that this is a 3-part series. Session number 1 was today, which is pronunciation 101. Then there's going to be another pronunciation 102, which will be next Sunday at the same time. So if you want to register for those sessions, please take a screenshot of this QR code or this entire slide, and then you can scan this QR code and it will take you to a Google form where you can fill in the details if you want to register for the next upcoming event, which is going to be Sunday again at 7 p.m. IST, right? And it'll register you for upcoming sessions on communication skills learning. So all of those sessions, you will be a part of those. You will get a meeting invite. Okay, we're going to learn a lot of different things in those sessions, and this is the way to do that. Okay, obviously I'm going to have to post a lot of different things on my social media, on my WhatsApp, on we have Instagram and everything for Aurelian Skills Academy, so I'll post it right there. You can be updated through that as well, but this will be one of the ways to register for the next sessions. Okay, now thank you very much for listening, and if you've got any questions, we can ask them now. If you want to connect with me, this is my LinkedIn profile, linkedin.com/in/SheikhOS. You can connect with me there, and you can scan this QR code to follow Aurelian Skills Academy. So when you can take another screenshot of this screen. So when you scan this QR code, it will take you to a web page where there will be all the links for Aurelian Skills Academy, and you can go ahead and follow them so that you're updated with all the content that we post. Okay, now next session is going to be about pronunciation 102. All right, and this is a very important session because in this one we are going to learn something important: syllables and syllable stress. Okay, so this session is going to be held on Sunday, which is what day is it? It is 15 today, and it is going to be 22nd. So it'll be on 22nd of this month at the same time, 7 p.m. In the meantime, if you've got any questions, please go ahead and ask. So I'm going to ask questions now, like allow people to ask questions. So I don't think people were able to join today's session. I need to check with TopMate because they have ruined the link somehow. So I'll talk to them, and I'll upload this video on Aurelian Skills Academy YouTube and on other social media platforms. If there are any questions, you can send me those questions, and in the next session we can talk about them and we can get them answered. Right? So if you guys have anything to say, please go ahead. If not, then thank you very much for joining the session. I really hope that we learned something, and I wanted to keep this session very short because I do not want to take a lot of time. Within 45 minutes I wanted to conclude, and I wanted to take questions, but unfortunately people were not able to join for some reason, so we'll have to do it in the next session. Okay, so thank you very much, everyone. If you guys have anything to say, please go ahead. If not, then you all can drop off, and I really appreciate you joining. Thank you very much. Take care of yourselves. Appreciate it. You're welcome.